Alright, another chapter review this week. I'm doing a single chapter review this week because I especially like this one. Chapter 1006, The Honorable Hyogoro the Flower. That's great. I like Hyogoro, so the fact that he gets his own chapter, I could tell just from the beginning that I was going to like this one. Now, it starts off not even about Hyogoro or the chapter, but with the cover page. Not to be mistaken with the Weekly Shonen Jump cover page, which has Luffy, Law, and Kid, which it's a cool image, but it's very misleading. Like if imagine I was in Japan, and I see the Shonen Jump and I see Luffy, Kid, and Law, I'd be thinking, oh wow, the new chapter, they're gonna be covering that fight, and you read the whole chapter and they're not even in it. So I think it's just kind of odd and misleading, but it's a cool image nonetheless. But what I find even better is this picture of Kaido and his top executives. He has the 3 calamities and the Tobiropo, and it's just such an amazing shot. Like, it really shows this is Kaido's core crew. All the Yonkos have just basically entire armies of people, but there are still selected people that would make for a core crew, such as, the Straw Hats. We know the Straw Hats as Luffy, Nami, all the way to Jinbei, but eventually there's going to be, a grand fleet, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people in his army, but at the end of the day, we're going to know those selected Straw Hats. Or if you look at Shanks' crew, it's not huge, I'm sure he has some people under him, but Shanks has that core crew. And this goes for all the Yonko, actually. I mean, if you look at Big Mom, she does have select few members. She's not going to have every single kid of one of her children's if she really wanted to pick a few people. And if you look at Whitebeard, he has these division commanders who at one point were just a part of his crew. He wasn't always a Yonko, he didn't always have a big crew. So this is Kaido's core group. It's just him, 3 commanders, and the Tobiropo. That makes up 10. I guess who he could add to this list, and it would still kind of make sense, is Hawkins. I could see him adding Yamato. Besides the fact that Yamato's rebellious, but Yamato seems like she's strong enough to be a part of this group. And other than that, I don't think there's anybody else. Oh wait, Apu, of course. Apu should be in this. In fact, I think Apu should be in this regardless, but it makes sense. He's not part of the Tobiropo. But there's a few other Beast Pirate members I could see being a part of this image, but it's such a beautiful image nonetheless. And something I'm going to bring up later is the background of this image. It's actually pretty relevant, and it'll make sense a little bit later. Just to clarify, the background I'm referring to is the red and black. But anyway, moving on. First we see the squirrel girl, Bao Huang. What she's doing is looking for Momonosuke. Now, the way it's shown is that there's some kind of scope going on. Now, last week I asked, are all the, eye mask wearing individuals cyborgs, or is it just the animals? Well, this week kind of makes it seem more like even the people have some kind of cybernetic enhancement, because why would it show a scope? We've never seen a person use observation haki and it be shown as a scope. It's just never been done to my recollection. So this makes me think that it's actually making it more sense that it could have something to do with the 3-Eye Tribe. Now, I know that sounds ironic because, the third eye is a spiritual thing. So the fact that this is using cybernetics seems like it would be going away from this whole 3rd-eye tribe theory. But if you recall, just having 3 eyes isn't enough to have great observation haki. You actually have to awaken the 3rd eye, right? Big Mom said that she's waiting for, what's her name? Pudding to, awaken the 3rd eye. In fact, she kind of said to Kaido she's done waiting at this point. She just wants Robin. But anyway, it's not as simple as just having 3 eyes and then you can have good observation haki. However, this whole cybernetic enhancement thing might be a cheat, a shortcut to awakening to 3rd Eye Tribe. with some drawbacks. That drawback possibly being not being able to read the poneglyphs or something like that. But it might be enhancing the observation haki. This makes me think of the Vinsmokes. If you think about how the Vinsmokes work, it's kind of like they have cheated Armament Haki. They have iron-like bodies, like their exteriors are completely tough, and that's something you could do even if you weren't genetically enhanced. If you just use observation haki, you'd be as tough as iron. So it's like, you know, Judge was just trying to find a way that he can cheat things without having to actually train and spiritually awaken certain things. So yeah, that's what that makes me think of, and I'm just gonna breeze past the Sanji portion. Not that it was boring, it's very interesting that he has this dilemma and he wants to figure out where to go. Then we see Perospero beats up Wanda and Carrot, unfortunately, but he does say, "You lost to me simply because the weather wasn't in your favor." So that indicates to me that they were strong enough to win, maybe if they had more time, but didn't happen. Anyway, for some reason he doesn't kill them. I think that's out of character. That could be plot armor for them, but who knows? Maybe we find out he's really not that ruthless. I didn't get that impression in Whole Cake Island, but he did make a good point when Carrot showed up, and when they encountered in this arc, she said, you know, "I'm gonna kill you to avenge Pedro." And then Perospero says, you know, "I didn't kill him." You know, he didn't actually kill Pedro. Pedro killed himself. So, you know, maybe there's some redeeming quality to Perospero. Maybe he's not that ruthless, but in my honest opinion, I think it's more like plot armor. But we'll see. So then we get over to see the whole ice demon situation, and Chopper's still making a cure. It seems like he's still in the testing phase, but possibly maybe he's just trying to make enough doses. But I feel like he would be having the doses handed out while he's making the cure rather than just hoard them until he was ready. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be ready for a while now. Then we see Apu. He doesn't really do anything, he's just talking, but we see that he has his hand full because not only is he up against Drake, but ta-da! It's Hyogoro, back looking like he's in his prime. And last week, a lot of us noticed that Hyogoro seemed to be back in his prime, even though it wasn't stated explicitly. And there was some speculation maybe he was using Life Return. But we find out now, nope, it's because he's actually infected. And the way the Ice Demon works is that it kind of dopes you up, but dopes you up too much where that you like run out of stamina and die and freeze up and turn into a ice demon or whatever. So it's like kind of like a double-edged sword right now for Hyogoro, but I'm sure Hyogoro is actually glad, because he would gladly give up his life for the sake of this raid, and he probably feels more useful being in his prime. So he might not be that upset and might actually be glad this is happening to him right now. But anyway, he's telling them, you know, you gotta kill me when the time comes. It looks like he might be turning a little bit faster than everybody else. Maybe that's due to his old age. Maybe that's because he's using up a whole lot of energy all at once. I guess we'll find out. It is ironic that this ice infection is granting him the ability to get back his old flame, right? His hair is on fire more, and his beard, and you know, it's like he's more fired up than ever in an ironic twist. So he uses one sword, flower style, fiery hairs, holy light, or at least that's what the fan translation is. I'm looking forward to seeing the Viz translation. I'll probably release this video on Sunday, so I'll be able to put it up on screen. But anyway, I'm very happy to see this. I gotta say that. So it's confirmed. I said it earlier in my theories. It seems like Hyogoro would have fire abilities. I mean, just look at him. He has like fire hair. Of course he would have fire abilities. That's no big surprise. But when you factor in not only does he have fire abilities, but he's Luffy's teacher in this arc, put the two together and it might make you realize that Luffy might have some new fire abilities. In fact, we already see he did have a new fire ability, Red Rock. There might be more to come with this new fire abilities. And if you follow my channel, you already know, I think there's third form of armament as fire. I think that Luffy's gonna get a new fire form and have to do something with flame clouds. In fact, I believe it's going to be called Sunman, and that's important for another reason in this very same chapter. Hyogoro says, "I found myself an interesting prodigy. Now I know the sun will rise on Wano again." I speculate that Kinemon has mastered the third form of armament, hence why he can use fire abilities. Also, Hyogoro has flame patterns in his design. I'm not sure if he can currently use a third form of Armament Haki, given how much his will was broken in Udon. However, despite the possible lack in his willpower, he may still have experience of his own to share with Luffy. I refer to Luffy's new form as Gear 4th Sunman, because I believe that one, it'll be fire based, so sun and fire, it only makes sense, but I also believe it's relevant to this arc because Luffy is in Wano. In fact, what more do I have to say? I'll just play a clip. The last thing I want to say is, the sun is super symbolic when it comes to the story of One Piece. The very first chapter is called Romance Dawn. There are a whole bunch of theories you can find about how the Will of D is related to Dawn. I won't go into that. For the sake of this theory, let's just focus on the word dawn. The dawn of the day is in reference to the first moment the sun emerges over the horizon. Everyone knows that Wano Kuni is the One Piece equivalent to Japan. Japan is also known as the land of the rising sun. This is because in Japan they actually refer to their country in their native language as Nippon. Nippon can be translated as origin of the sun. So, with all that being said, if there was any place Luffy would use Sunman for the first time, it would be here in Wano Kuni. So yeah, it's all seeming to me like just more credence to my theory. Not saying it confirms it, but it's like each chapter I feel like it's more credibility. I mean, if you look at each chapter that comes out, there's something new fire related. Like just the last chapter. What's her name? Black Maria wields this weapon that has fire on it. There's just so much fire imagery and symbolism in this arc, and I think it's going to be relevant, especially to the main character of all people. But yeah, if you recall in the beginning, I said look at the cover page with Kaido's main crew, and if you look at the background, it shows red and black, and if you look at the way it's designed, it looks a lot like the Japanese flag, which if you remember, I talked about that in the video. Play a clip. The two fire attacks Luffy have make use of the word red, and the Japanese flag actually has a red sun on it. So he could even call this new form Redman, and it still could be relevant to the sun theme. I think the name Sunman works and sounds better, but who knows, maybe Oda is a big fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. I could see some special things in regards to the Haki patterns on his body. First off, Sunman would have flame patterns, but that's a given considering that all of the Gear 4th forms have flame patterns. However, we would see them in new places. Sawyer 7 Mage pointed out that the Habu port symbol looks like the eyes of Gear 4th, and this is the perfect form for him to introduce that concept. Also, I can imagine Sunman having the same sun symbol as the Sun Pirates logo. I could see it being located on Luffy's navel. However, Luffy's mark would be a Haki pattern. And you know what's funny? That brand on them started out as a dragon's foot, which is very poetic, to me at least. Because this theory originally started with me referring to Luffy's form as Dragon Man. Maybe there's more to that, but that's enough speculation for now. So yeah, I think the black imagery might be symbolism of it being nighttime and the sun not rising. And you know, they're in front of the sun. They have control over the sun. It's their sun. You know, it's like Luffy has to take back the sun for Wano and allow it to rise again. So I think that it really could be going in that direction. I just feel it more and more each week. But yeah, then we see Queen using a laser blast. Well, he didn't actually get to shoot the laser blast, but it looked like he was using something similar to what, you know, the PX models can use. Referring to the Pacifista. I don't know why I said PX. What Kuma could do, what Frankie could do. So there might be something to that. He might have. That'd be interesting because the way they came up with those lasers was using something to do with Kizaru, and I don't think Queen had access to that. So he might have been able to somehow make his own version of that without Kizaru's help. So I think that leads credence to how smart Queen must be. I mean, he's not just a mechanic. You know, he's probably very intelligent. You know, if you look at what Frankie has done, yes, Frankie is very smart. There's no doubt about that. But you know, a lot of what he did post time skip was him finding other people's research, mostly Vegapunk's research. Queen might be like not only good at making stuff, but he might be able to do a lot of research, which should be obvious. He's clearly has, you know, doing a lot of biochemical, you know, warfare, and you know, he can't just go to scrapyard and put together diseases and viruses and stuff. But yeah, he has this handful against Marco, despite the fact that Queen has help. So yeah, it just makes Marco seem, you know, really top tier. And I guess that shouldn't be a surprise, because there was at some point the Gorosei said that, you know, Marco could possibly be able to defeat Blackbeard, and Blackbeard's a Yonko. So Marco's always been like in a weird gray area where it's like he's a Yonko commander, but you know, he goes up against admirals and even other Yonko at times. So it's like he's probably almost there, but he's just never at that next level to really be considered the top tier amongst Yonkos and admiral and the like. But Pearl shows up, and it's like, what's he gonna do now? Is he gonna fight Marco, or is he gonna help Marco? I guess we're gonna find out next week. You know, Oda didn't really show us much to indicate one way or the other. The only thing that could really indicate which side he would pick is at the very beginning of the chapter. He said something about he doesn't like the thought of siding with the Beast Pirates, but at the same time he wants to show the youngsters what it means to be a Yonko or something like that. So if anything, it's more likely he's going to be trying to fight Marco, but I'm all for a surprise. Anyway, it ends with, it seems like Hyogoro's going to get cut, and I'm really torn. On one hand, this is One Piece, and in One Piece, people rarely ever die, and they're usually saved constantly. But on the other hand, if anyone's gonna die, it's probably gonna be Hyogoro, because he's old. But when I think about it, if he does die, I feel like Luffy would have to be around for it to have some kind of impact, or like someone relevant to Hyogoro should be around when he passes. But Luffy could always be told later that something happened to Hyogoro. But yeah, I don't know, I'm really torn. But you know, I'm gonna go with my heart. My heart says he's gonna get saved. So we'll see you next week. But thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more in the future, then subscribe. Want to be my first every video? Then hit that bell icon. Maybe subscribing is too much of a commitment, but you still want to see me around? Well, then it's a good thing you can like the video. It lets YouTube know you want to see videos like these suggested to you. Communication is key to a great relationship. So leave a comment or reach out to my email, Twitter, or wherever else you can find me. Check the time bar. There might be more left of this video. If not, then I hope to see you next time. Bye. If you got to this point, I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate every single comment I get. I read every single one. I like and heart them. I like and heart every single one because I truly feel that way. Like, it really means a lot to me. And sometimes it takes a lot of motivation for me to make these videos for various reasons. But you really inspire me. And I would also like to thank my friends and family that helped me out, especially my fiance. She motivates me the most and actually helps me to make some of these videos. But seriously, so to Liquid Thoughts, Zaner, or should I say Zane, Yakir, Sozo, all of you guys that are, constantly commenting, and then so many more that, you might be watching and not commenting, and I don't, can't call out your name, but if you know you're there, you know who you are. So thank you so much. And I do feel better and more motivated, and there's certain things happening in my personal life that are good and, on the up and up. So yeah, I'm really feeling good, and I'm truly trying to work on a new video, and I'm trying to do at least an hour each day to put towards a video. The videos I really, put that work in, like the last one about Luffy being Sunman, I feel like those are the videos I'm just so proud of. Like, there's not a single one of those videos where I have regrets or anything like that. They're just so good. I love the dedication I put into it, and I don't want to be sloppy. I really want to put that thing out there and have it, take its place on my channel as something that I'm really proud of. That one video I made that month that really shines. And it says, is Law working with the revolution? That theory is coming very soon, and I've had it for a long time now, but I think I'm really ready to release it. So, yeah, thank you for watching again. I really can't thank you enough. I'm so grateful.